Let me tell you about the time Israel attempted a terrorist attack against Mexico, since no one really seems to know about it. It's really hard to find information about this in Spanish and even harder in English, which is why this video is in English. On October 10th, 2001, only a month after 9/11, two Israeli citizens, one of them being a dual Mexican citizen, were arrested around 5 p.m. in the Mexican Legislative Assembly, also known as San Lázaro. Police were alerted after they reportedly were acting in a strange manner and failed to identify themselves upon request. Upon arrest, they were found to be carrying fake Pakistani passports as well as firearms and explosives. They were identified as former members of the Israeli Special Forces, and if their attack had successfully been carried out, I think they wanted Pakistan to take the blame for it. Alright, now this is when stuff starts to get really weird. First, the attack was widely reported in Mexican television and local newspapers. Everyone was talking about it. Especially because it was only a month after 9/11, it was a media frenzy. But out of nowhere, it stopped. It was a media blackout. No one was reporting it anymore, and there was very little information. And then Israeli authorities and the Israeli embassy intervened, and the two criminals were released without any charges. A few years later, in 2012, one of the criminals, Salvador Gerson, which I think is the one who had the Mexican citizenship, was arrested again. This time in Querétaro and with two other Israelis. And again, they were released without any charges. But Israel only started committing crimes on October 7th, 2023, right? While I research topics on my own, as I always do, I have to credit Palestina Pod on Twitter. This thread is how I found out about it. Without it, I didn't even know that this was a thing. I have some pretty great stuff on Palestine. If you speak Spanish, I highly recommend checking them out.